All right, so we will get rolling. I am Molly Asplin. You guys, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining this big Zoom call. We've got a lot of faces on here, and I know we have some people on the phone too. So we typically don't do this, but our team really wanted to get all our challenge groups started off successfully for the new year. And I know a lot of people have set some really big goals. They want 2017 to be their year of change. They're getting into some really good workout routines and clean eating. So this call is just going to give a little more insight into how to do that and how to do it sustainably, so that this isn't just a one-time diet or a one-time fix. You can really carry the stuff into your entire year. So I'm going to share some slides. And if you're on the phone, don't worry. We're going to try to be vocal about everything that we're looking at. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you guys see the slides? Can someone give me a thumbs up?
We got it, Miles.
Perfect. All right, so we are Team Hustle with Heart. So your coach, Caitlin and I will lead this particular call, but your coach is part of a team called Hustle with Heart. And maybe you see them in this photo, maybe you don't, but we're all here for the same reasons, and that is to help keep you accountable, to help keep ourselves accountable, and really help you get results. We're going to be doing these programs right alongside you. We love them. Most of us have done these programs multiple times, or Beachbody programs in general multiple times, and they work. So we've gotten results, and we want you to get those same results. So what we're going to chat about tonight, how to rock the basics. So the eating plan and the workout, two very core behaviors that you're going to need to kind of hone in on if you want to get awesome results. We're going to talk about these challenge groups and how you engage with them. How do you share in them and get maximize the benefit for yourself? Talking about getting the most from Shakeology. We're talking about an incentive that Beachbody has going on in the month of January called the Health Bet, and what it takes to win a piece of that cash pot. And then enhancing your results. So some things that you can do beyond just clean eating and working out that will really help you make this a lifestyle. And then at the end, we'll open it up for some questions. So save those for the end, and then we'll take the lines off mute. So just first and foremost, a recipe for massive success. How do you make these programs really work for you? Clean nutrition. Going to have to follow that eating plan that came with your program. Consistent workouts, following the schedule. We'll go into that in a little bit. Checking in with the accountability group, taking a before and after photo. Super important. Whether or not you're comfortable sharing it with your coach, that's fine, but really want you to take that for yourself, because it will be awesome motivation. Nothing is better than when you get to the end of this challenge group and you get to do that side-by-side photo. You will be super impressed with yourself, you guys. Writing down your goals, actually putting pen to paper and getting specific about your goals. Having a positive mindset, and then really thinking about this as a lifestyle and not just a quick fix or a diet. Nobody likes that word diet anyway. All right, I'm going to toss the ball to Kate, and she's going to talk specifically about the eating plan.
Yeah, so I really like how Molly said that too, about not saying that you're on a diet, because I've heard it so many times, like, oh, what's this diet that you do? Or like, what's this thing? And I'm like, well, if you mean diet and by what do I eat, as in I don't know. It's like, this is just what I do. It's not like I'm eating cabbage soup or, eating 5 pieces of celery a day. It's a lot of food. And you guys, if you've never followed the eating plan before, you're gonna come in and see that. So the first thing is, in any of the challenge packs that you order, whether it's the 21-day fix, core to force, max 30, whatever program you're rocking, it's gonna come with a little booklet that's going to have your meal plan in it, as well as, and we'll talk about stuff that's on Beachbody On Demand, but for every single program, guys, you can find your eating plan guide that goes with that program in on Beachbody On Demand, and we'll teach you how to do that later on. But it's going to come with your eating plan. And most of the meal plans now through Beachbody programs come with those color-coded containers. And I'm sure that most of you, when you open them up, saw the yellow and the blue container and read, crap, that's my carb and my cheese, and probably had a momentary freak out. Because I remember the first time I ever opened them up, I was like, what the heck am I supposed to do with these? Like, do I like eat straight out of the container? Like, this is all the cheese I get. Like, you know what I mean? So that eating plan guide, what you should do to start is understand those containers and what we mean by clean food. So if you were to go to the grocery store, you would see a ton of food that is labeled or what we're often misconstrued as healthy. So like those low fat or those granola bars or things like that that seem super healthy, but they're not clean. Now, when we say clean, we don't mean that we threw them in the dishwasher and we put Dawn soap on them. When we're talking about clean ingredients, we're thinking about eating food that is a whole food. So like I'm sitting next to a sweet potato. This sweet potato is one ingredient. It's a sweet potato. So this would be a very clean food. It's not a processed French fry that I got from the bag. It's the real clean whole food. So when you're thinking about your containers and you're thinking about what you're going to fill them up with, thinking about that, like going and getting your vegetables, that's one ingredient. You know, zucchini is one ingredient. It's not a long list of fake, you know, sugars and fat stripped out and stuff like that. So keeping that in mind, of that term will be thrown around a lot. From there is I would just sit down, get a piece of paper, computer if that's your thing, and just make a list of foods that you like. So, you know, you'll see that list of food in your meal planning book, but from that, write down the things that you would like to eat and think about how they would fit into your container. I oftentimes use tracker sheets, which all of the coaches here will provide for you guys in the challenge group, as well as just listing out. I literally will list like purples this week at the grocery store, greens this week, because my mind really thinks of all the food I eat now as kind of in colors. Also look through that book and see some of the recipes that are in there. There's really, really good recipes in there. They'll even lay it out of what to eat on what days, as well as your coach in your challenge group will provide additional recipes for you. And if you haven't heard of this website, it's called Pinterest. You can find a ton of recipes on there that align to the container system, as well as, again, obviously, we'll talk about Beachbody On Demand later on, but that has an entire cooking show based off your containers. So think of some recipes you want, make your grocery list from there, and don't overcomplicate it. When I first started, and even now, when I do some meal prepping and stuff like that on Sunday, I kind of just make some stuff in bulk that I like, think of how I can season it in a couple different ways, and I measure it out with the containers. It doesn't have to be this crazy system, and it's not meant to be stressful. It's meant to start kind of segueing your brain to eating in this way and not counting calories and things like that. We like to say that we count calories because clearly we have really good jokes. And then the last thing is just, it will get easier as you go. I actually met with a challenger the other night. I went over to her house and we were going over the containers and talking about it. And I said, you know, your first round, it might feel more difficult, but it really does get easier as you go. You truly, like when I go to a restaurant, I think like, oh, well, this meal is one yellow, a red, and orange. And your mind really will switch to that, and it makes eating fun and super easy. And I always love knowing that I'm really getting all the nutrients that I need. So it will get easier and you will eat a lot. So when you're going to the grocery store, think about going to the perimeter of the grocery store, okay? So most of the time that processed, not clean, not whole, not really going to really fill you up is in the center of the store. I think of like the Target aisle, and you have that in the center. Obviously, you can still get your grains and whatnot there, but 80% of your time should be in the produce section. We have this picture here of a grocery cart, you know, thinking of that fresh produce, you know. I really love going to Fresh Time in Plymouth. They've got really good prices on produce. the closer to the original source, the better. So even those Bolthouse Farms carrots, like obviously baby carrots are fine, but like even going and taking the extra 2 minutes to peel that real whole carrot, like it's just going to give you the most bang for your buck in that green container. That's how I always think about it, is you really want it to be nutrient dense. Same thing we have here that says if you can't pronounce the ingredient, think twice, okay? So if you find yourself in that aisle more at the processed food, if you can't even pronounce it, or you're like, why are there 3 consonants in a row here? It's probably not something you want to be putting, fueling your body with. And the biggest thing is, I think when you're going through the round, and I still do this to this day, like if I'm really buckling down, don't buy whatever it is that's going to derail you. So mine is cereal. Like I love cereal. I could sit down and eat a whole box. And if I buy it, like it's like that milk pour thing, right? Like you do a little cereal and then the milk, and you're like, well, now I have milk, I have to put more cereal in. I just don't even buy it. If it's not in your cupboard, you won't be tempted to eat it, and you'll be far more successful.
Totally. Now you kind of made me crave peanut butter Captain Crunch.
Oh, sorry. That was the opposite of what I was trying to do.
All right. Great tips, Kate. We're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the workouts. So getting familiar with the workout plan that's going along with your specific program. And when we say program, we mean the 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme, core to force, hammer and chisel, whatever program you chose, a workout plan comes along with it. So refer to the calendar for that specific workout schedule. The order of the workouts is very important. So I know I have my favorite workouts within the 21-day fix. I despise leg day, and I would just assume forego it all together and do cardio or something that I like better. But it's important to do the workouts in the specific order. Beachbody spends a lot of time, testing, research, and money on these plans. So they're designed to work a certain muscle group one day and then let that muscle group recover the next day. So follow the schedule. And if you're confused at what your schedule is, chat with your coach and they can help get that to you. Know what equipment you need. So before Monday, when I know most of you are really ramping up with this, look into what equipment. Do you need a resistance band? Do you need hand weights? Is your workout program equipment free, like core to force, and maybe you don't need anything? Target, Walmart, all those core retail stores, they've got everything you need for a pretty reasonable price. So maybe make a trip this weekend if you need some more equipment. Setting up your home gym. So this does not need to be complicated. Living room, basement, clear and literally an 8x8 area. That's probably all the space that you need. Just have that space ready to go. If you're going to be streaming the workouts from Beachbody On Demand on your laptop, make sure you've got a good place to set it. If you're going to be popping in the DVDs, make sure your DVD player is, functioning, and just get it all set up this weekend. There is no need to do more workouts than what's provided in the plan. So I can use myself as an example for this. I was a big runner before I came into Beachbody world. And so I had this mindset that told me, well, I'm still going to run, but then I'm going to add these 21-day fix workouts on top of that. Really, you guys, that's not needed. If you're following the nutrition plan and you're following the workouts, you do not need to be doing more workouts than what's provided. So stick to what's laid out in front of you. If you miss a workout, try to double up the next day. Now, really make an effort not to get into this habit, because I can tell you it's a slippery slope. You miss one day and then you get caught up, and then you miss the next day, and all of a sudden you're trying to do 3 workouts in one day. You're spending an hour and a half on your workouts. That's not the point of this. The point is to be consistent, 30 minutes each day, 30 to 40 minutes, whatever the duration is, but just being consistent about it every single day.
Side note, I went to Target tonight. At least the Minnetonka one has, so I'm sure most of the Targets do, but there are weights on sale for like $8 right now. I just went and picked up a pair of 12-pounders. So keep just PSA, there's weights on sale at Target.
Good to know. Here's an example of workout schedules. So the 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme, they go in this particular order. Your coach can share something similar if you're not sure the order of your workouts. Beachbody On Demand. So this is Beachbody's website platform for streaming your workouts. So if you purchased a challenge pack, which was your workout program plus Shakeology, you automatically have access to this amazing site. This is a little snippet of how to log into Beachbody On Demand, but this bottom right-hand corner is what it will look like once you get inside there. And basically you'll find your program. It'll have all the workouts listed. You pick which one you're supposed to do that day and boom, you're on. So you can access this from a tablet, from an iPhone, from a computer. I use my laptop every day for my workouts. I don't deal with any DVD stuff. Likewise, what Kate said, you can find all the eating plans on there too. So super convenient if you're more of a electronic download person and you forgot where you put your eating plan booklet, you can find it all on Beachbody On Demand. All right, Kate's going to chat about engaging in the challenge group.
Yes. Okay. So, the number one for me as my experience with a coach with challengers who are successful for myself when I was a challenger before I was coaching a group was engaging in the group. And Molly knows this memory because she's heard me share it before, but I did my first round of 21-day fix with a friend and I engaged a lot. And I even remember I really didn't want to have any slip ups and I was out to eat with a friend and they had ordered nachos and French fries. I remember immediately literally going to the bathroom and going into the challenge group and being like, there's fries and nachos and I'm not having any of them because I saved one yellow for wine and that's all I got. And everybody was so supportive and so you got this, stay strong. And I did. And that's always stuck in my mind. So making sure you're engaging is a huge, huge benefit. So the first thing is make sure you're watching daily for the coach to post with an educational piece. It's usually going to follow something about dealing with your containers or mindset or workout tips, those types of things. What's really cool about using the My Challenge Tracker app is that you'll have a function that you'll see in there and that you'll learn where you can filter out just your coach's posts. So that's super awesome because the feed can get pretty busy if people are engaging, which is awesome. But if you're oh, I missed my educational piece for the day, you can filter through that and the coaches in your group or coach will have a little C next to their name in the app. Another reason why the app trumps Facebook, it's bomb.com. Posting in there is going to keep you accountable. I have people who are always oh, but I don't like social media. I'm okay, first of all, this is a separate app. Second of all, nobody's going to see it. Third of all, you can guarantee your coach is going to post in there and look like absolute dirt, sweat, not cute after working out. So use it to be accountable. And at the bare minimum, post a picture of you with your Shakeology and one of you working out. That alone, knowing, okay, I'm going to post this workout picture. It's a little bit different if you're trying to flash water, hey, I did it. No, go actually do it and post it. You'll stay more accountable. And it's it's bolded here for a reason. Those who engage do significantly better. It's just the name of the game because you're having those people cheer you on and it's motivating and you feel good. And I don't know about you, I would rather be participating than just be a fly on the wall. The biggest thing of my own experience of being a challenger and being a coach, you guys, is what you put in, you will get out. And it's so true. If like Molly said, it becomes a pattern of you're not doing your workout, you're not going to have the results. If it becomes the pattern, I am a huge snacker. I just love to eat. I just could snack all day long. But my results when I'm doing a challenge group, even as a coach, if I'm yeah, I'll just have some chips and salsa now, are never as good. And it's always man, that really compounded. So you're going to get out what you put in. There will also be weekly awards to those who are checking in, logging their workouts and things like that. So if you're a person who gets motivated by prizes, that's a really awesome thing for you to work for. Now, what to share? Your clean foods, your meals, especially people love recipes. anyone who's in a challenge group with me, I made a Shakeology pie tonight. I had a really bad day at work and I was like, I'm gonna make a Shakeology pie. I found it on Pinterest and it was delicious. And I would totally post it if our challenge group had already started. Your sweaty selfies, okay? I don't know if Nikki's on here, and I love that she's on here. Like, be yourself, you guys. Like, this is one of my favorite challengers of all time. She's freaking hilarious. Like, all my challengers, like, who have been in here with me can attest, like, your hair is everywhere. Who cares? People see you're working out, and we'll cheer you on. This is a place where people are jazzed to see that. And that's the biggest thing, you guys, is that it is private. It's safe. It's a place where, like, you can do those things that you, like, might be a little embarrassing to you. Like, oh my God, I don't want to post that I'm sweaty to people. But it's a safe space because everybody else is doing it. People want you to do it. A coach will never share a photo of you unless they've, talked to you about it, asked you about it, if you're having a rocket before and after. So don't think that, we're stockpiling these photos. No, like, it's for you to stay accountable. So it's the most fun part.
Kate, this is you again.
Yep. So again, I'm relating back to when before I was a coach and I was a challenger, and I remember texting or messaging Molly on Facebook and her like being like, well, taking your before and after picture, you can send it to me. And I remember being like, I am not sending this chick a before picture. And I wish I would have, because that first challenge group, although I was engaged, it would have been for me that extra accountability. But regardless if you're comfortable with that or not, take a before picture. Here are some baller ones that are on here. We've got one of our coaches, Elena, on here, and another coach on our team. And you'll just be so happy you did it, because we're really getting out of ditching of what the scale says. Like, you could go drink a huge glass of water and the scale could go up, or have a meal. That before picture, you guys, it doesn't lie. And it's so fun, like Molly said, at the very end of a challenge group, to put those together. And that's where having a coach, you guys, is super important, and I think huge. And having the challenge group, because sometimes you see your body every day, and you're going to see your body every day throughout the next month. And you might not be seeing the changes. You'll be feeling the changes. You'll be feeling the energy, feeling amazing. But when you post it or to the challenge group at the end, or if you do send it to a coach, or you put it side by side, even your roommate or your husband, they're going to notice it. And there is a space for you guys to plug that into the My Challenge Tracker app. No one's going to be able to see them but you. So you can store that in there. If it freaks you out, you can post it day one and not go back to it till day 30. But highly encourage you to take those progress photos. Who freaking cares about that scale? Go for that.
Awesome. I just took mine. As coaches, we do these programs over and over again, and we mix it up with different Beachbody programs, but I still take progress photos because it helps me stay accountable, because I want to see toning every single time I go through this stuff. Makes it more fun.
Yep.
Okay, we're switching gears to Shakeology. So almost all of you are drinking Shakeology. It will honestly completely enhance your experience. It's loaded with all natural superfoods. If you're brand new to Shakeology and you're just, starting to try it, you're going to have to play around with it for a while. So just know that that's totally normal. Some benefits. These are benefits that I can personally testify. Curbs my cravings for the junk. I have the biggest sweet tooth, you guys. When I have my Shakeology, I usually have it for my breakfast in the morning. It helps me eat better all day long. I don't crave the junk. It regulates digestion. I really think that's the kind of distinct factor that makes it different from other protein drinks. This is a lot more than just a protein drink. It is a superfood dense meal replacement. It'll improve your hair, skin, and nails. Totally. Your nails, your skin will clear up. Your nails will grow longer, and so will your hair. It's crazy. Blend it for the best consistency. So I know when I got my first Shakeology packet, I got one to try, and I was so eager to try it to see what everyone was raving about. And I dumped it in a glass of water, stirred it up with a spoon, and it was like Chunk City, and I hated it. You need to blend it. Please blend it. If you don't blend it, you're just throwing your Shakeology down the drain because it's not going to taste good. If you're traveling and you're in a bind and you don't have a blender, I have an aerator ball, those wire ball thingies that go in my shaker bottle, and then you can shake it up and it will, make it a nice consistency and I'll get all the chunks out. Play around with different recipes. So a lot of people like to add in fun things like powdered peanut butter or mint extract to make a thin mint cookie shake. All sorts of things, and we'll talk about them on the next slide. But just know that first week you're going to have to play around with it a bit. You might not like it right away. You might not like that first flavor. You can change it up the next month. It can be subbed for any meal or snack. Like I said, a lot of people like to have it in the morning for their breakfast. Others like to have it right after their workout just as a supplement or as a snack. Drink it consistently. I was that person who was an extremely big shake naysayer. I thought they were expensive, overpriced, not worth it. I said all of it. And I drank it for 2 weeks and I was still like, this is really tasty, but I don't really know if I need it. On about day 30, you guys, my first month of drinking that thing daily, that's when I really started to feel the difference. So just know that you do have to give it some time, just like you have to give your workouts time and your clean eating. But day by day consistency will be the magic factor. Your Shakeology counts as one red container. So that's the protein container. Anything else you add into it would count as that respective container. So if you add in half a banana, that is equivalent to one purple fruit container. Almond milk adds creaminess. So a lot of people like to blend with some water, some almond milk to make it a little creamier. If you're adding just a dash of almond milk, you don't have to count it towards anything. If you're adding, all almond milk, then it does count as a yellow container. 16 ounces of almond milk is equivalent to 1 yellow. And then some other fun add-ins. So fruits, any type of fruit. Powdered peanut butter is a super popular and easy thing to dump in there. Mint extracts, caramel extract, and coffee lovers love to put in some cold brew coffee. So play around. You guys will have fun with this. All right, Kate, the health bet.
Yes. Okay, so some of you have done challenge groups before. Some of you are brand new, and some people have. A lot of the times, coaches will use a private Facebook group. But what's super amazing is that Beachbody has their own app, away from the Facebook scroll, away from getting locked into that social media trap, where we can post these things and have our challenge group rocking. So every so often, Beachbody does this, and this month, January, is the health bet. So the challenge group, I know some people's challenge group kind of started last week. Many are starting on the 9th. This challenge group is going to be a full month. It's going to run from January 9th to February 5th. Okay, so it is going to be a whole month. Really quickly, as a side note, because this has been asked already to me before, what if I'm doing the 21-day fix? That's only 3 weeks. There's a countdown to competition plan. Do that. Whatever it is, or maybe that week, you kind of do a hybrid schedule, something within Beachbody On Demand. So don't worry about it. It just means you get 1 more week to hang out with us and 1 more week to get really amazing results. So we've got to be using the My Challenge Tracker app. It's very simple to download, and before your challenge group starts, your coach will be emailing you and inviting you. So if the email you're thinking, I'm not sure what email I sent to my coach, please find it, because that is how you get the invite to the challenge group. It gives you step-by-step directions, how to download the app, how to get into it. It's very user-friendly. So if you're not tech savvy, don't worry, it spells it out for you. So just making sure you have that email so that your coach can send it to you. Now, how do you win the money? Anybody who logs a minimum of 5 Shakeology photos a week and a minimum of 3 workouts each week is going to get an equal share of a $2 million cash pot. And I do believe that it can go upwards to $3 million. So in your week, you need to be posting your Shakeology and you need to be posting your workouts. If you miss, or if you do not post one of those, you won't get paid, even one. So you're getting paid to work out, and you're basically having somebody pay you to stay accountable, which if you ask me, I've said this so many times to other coaches on the team. I'm like, where the heck was this thing when I first was in a challenge group? Like, this is so amazing. Just holding you super accountable. One note, when you are blending your Shakeology within that app, make sure that you have the Shakeology bag or the packet or your shaker cup with the shake in it. Like, I've been drinking water out of a mason jar. Just make sure that you log in, that they see it is Shakeology, okay, and not just a smoothie or something that you made. Having that emblem there, or, you know, putting that in there, just ensures that when they go to look through everything, like, oh, this person was for sure drinking Shakeol, they were rocking Core de Force, okay, here's their split of the pot. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty stoked about getting paid to work out.
Totally. Kate, you want to chat about personal development?
Sure, yeah. Sorry, Molly. Okay, so we wrote down here, your body doesn't go where your mind doesn't tell it to. So you really need to be filling it with the good stuff. And whenever I talk to challengers about being in a challenge group and they want to get results, I highly, highly encourage doing some personal development. Now, for me, like, there's no shame in my game. I'm like, where's the self-help section at Barnes & Noble is like my favorite place to hang out. Give me a book. But if you're like, that is freaky to me, ease your way in with a podcast. Okay, guys? Lori Harder, #1 on the list. She has a podcast called Earn Your Happy. I'm obsessed with her. Her podcasts range like as a quickie to 15 minutes all the way up to an hour. Michael Hyatt, This Is Your Life. He has an amazing podcast. The Art of Charm and Shailene Johnson, those are all super motivating ones. If you want to start with a podcast, you guys, think about listening to your PD. If you had a podcast or an audiobook, when I get ready in the morning and I'm putting my makeup on and fixing my hair, I listen to my PD the entire way. Rather than listening to War of the Roses on Thursdays, okay, yeah, I do listen to War of the Roses on Thursdays, but every other day of the week in the car, I'm listening to my PD on the way. So it's one of those things, because when your body gets tired or life gets busy and you think, oh, I can just slack here, or, oh, I'll just put that to the side, this is what's going to keep you going. And it's really amazing to have a body shift and, you know, lose some weight and tone up, but how much cooler is it and how much more sustainable is this in the long haul if you're really strengthening your mind and your mindset about how you feel about working out, eating healthy, and more importantly, yourself? It's going to keep you going in the long run. So,
yep. And if you have an iPhone, if you've never listened to a podcast before, there's a purple app on the iPhone automatically by default that says podcasts. So just hop in there and you can search for any one of these, and then you can subscribe. They're all free. And that will automatically load the entire feed. So you have all the episodes, and when you're commuting to and from work, you can turn that on, or folding the laundry. You know, do personal development while you're doing something mindless. It's the best time to do it. And then these are just some other book and audiobook suggestions that we like. The Slight Edge, Compound Effect, Girl Code. I'll give you guys a chance to jot these down. I would say if you're brand new to the personal development space, the Compound Effect is a really good one to start with. And the premise of it is making small daily changes in any area of your life, with your finances, with your health and fitness, in your relationships. And over time, these small positive habits compound, and all of a sudden 3 months later, you have drastic results. All right, and last but certainly not least, before we open it up to questions, the power of long-term mindset. So I said at the beginning of the call, really thinking about this as not just a short-term, oh, it's January, so I better get on the health and fitness train. But I want you guys to think of January 2018 and where you could potentially be if you carry this stuff out for the entire year. I've got a picture on here of our coach, Michaela. She's on the call. You guys, she started last March. And, you know, she was one who, I know she won't mind me sharing, but she was one who was super apprehensive about this. But once she committed, like all of you have already done, once she committed, she was in. And she said, yep, I'm doing this. And she hasn't stopped since. She's over about 85 pounds down. She's confident. She's happy. It's snowballed into all areas of her life, because not only are your pants going to get looser, you guys, this stuff affects everything. Everything starts with your health. We're here to keep you accountable. Your coach is there to keep you accountable. On those bad days, on those days where you feel like, oh, I'm tired, I'm blah, I don't want to do this, message your coach. That's what they're there for. Plug into that accountability group. Share about the tough day of work and how you don't want to do your workout. That accountability group will honestly get you through it. Michaela, do you have anything to add? I don't want to put you on the spot, but you've had a pretty cool story, so.
We're all set.
No, I mean, I think you summed it up pretty well. I will say that just focus on what you have to do every day. Don't focus on have that goal in the back of your mindset. But even when I got to the 85 pound mark, I think maybe it was 80 when I messaged Molly and she's like, can you freaking believe it? I'm like, honestly, yeah, it's crazy, but I haven't spent a ton of time thinking about it. I literally just know that I have to work out every morning and I need to eat right and I need to drink a lot of water and I need to plug into my PD. And it all of a sudden was like, oh my God, I lost 80 pounds.
Or as I always say, Michaela, you lost the third grade.
But it's just consistency.
So awesome. Yeah, I think having that one day at a time, one meal at a time, one workout at a time, having that mindset, and over time, all of a sudden you're 80 pounds down. Just crazy. Oops. And that's all we've got. We'll open it up to questions. So if you've got any questions, just unmute your line. I'm going to go back to the people view. Stop share. There we go. Now I can see all your faces again. Anyone want to be brave and ask a question? Or if you're timid to ask a voice question, pop it in the chat box.
One thing that came to my mind, Molly, while people are thinking of their questions, was when we were talking about the shakes and adding stuff into it. If you have I think Rachel's on here. I saw her. Yeah, my coworker. When Rach, the first time she blended one up, she almost tried to go too fancy, and came the next day and she was like, this was not great. And we looked at the recipe and we were like, okay, yeah, that was kind of a super fancy one. So just keep that in mind too. It is to fun to add stuff in, but if there's a ton, just kind of, and don't let it turn you off. It was probably just whatever. But I thought of that right away, Rachel, when she was saying that. I was like, uh-oh.
No, that's a good point.
Also, if you're someone who struggles to get in your green containers, depending on what plan you're on, having 4 greens can seem like it's a lot and it's hard to get that in. If you blend a cup of spinach and use that as one of your green containers in your Shakeology, I promise you cannot taste it. You might have to get past the color of it, but you cannot taste the spinach in your shake, and that counts as a container.
I sneak that spinach in every day. Cool. How about coaches on the line? Anything else you guys want to add?
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. All right, you guys. Oh, Jack.
I think for tracking, because I know tracking can be hard. I know that you guys are referencing the pen to paper. Otherwise, there is a 21-day fix app that tracks your containers. That's super helpful. So it's free. I know that that's helped me in the past. So if you guys want to, download that too, it's really user friendly.
Yep.
Cool.
You're gonna get it this weekend, Molly. My challenger, Molly, with that, you're gonna get your email probably tomorrow, and then, you will get it tomorrow, and then you'll be able to get all logged in and stuff. So keep looking on your email, girl.
Awesome. All right, anyone who's on the call, I want you to give me a big old smile. We're gonna take a giant screenshot. 1, 2, 3. Gotcha. All right, you guys, go take those before photos and we'll see you in the app and we will rock 2017.
Yay!
See ya.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Caitlin.
Bye.
Bye, guys.